Okay, so today we'll be solving the problem in your preliminary exams. So we have here the requirements. So first, it says here that we display a menu with the following options. So display even numbers, display odd numbers. Then number 3, display numbers divisible by 5. And then number 4, about. And then 5, exit program. So these are the menu options. And then for the first one, when one is pressed in the menu, the program should prompt the user to enter the upper limit. Then the program displays all even numbers from 2 up to the upper limit. So from 2 because these are even numbers. And then the program should also display the sum and average of these even numbers. So when 2 is pressed in the menu, the program should prompt the user to enter the upper limit. Then the program displays all odd numbers from 1 up to the upper limit entered by the user. The program should also display the sum and average of these odd numbers. When 3 is pressed in the menu, the program should prompt the user to enter the upper limit. Then the program displays all numbers divisible by 5 from 5 up to the upper limit entered by the user. The program should also display the sum and average of these numbers. So when 4 is pressed, the program should display the name, course, year, address, motto of the author. Then when 5 is pressed, the program displays thank you for using this program and exits the program. So this will be our program. So first, maybe let's define the functions. So we have the display menu function. Maybe you have display even numbers. Display the odd numbers. Display the numbers divisible by 5. We have our about screen, and maybe that's about it. Okay, so we'll be defining this later on. So in our main program now, we'll have here the character that will be used for getting the user option or the response from the user when it comes to the menu. So we have here, for example, ants. So for example, then while ants is not equal to 5, so 5 being the character, we can change that also to 0. So 5. So what are we going to do? We display the menu. So ants is equal to display menu. And then we just test for the value of the option using switch case. Case 1. So when 1 is pressed, so we're going to display even. Am I right? Are we going to display even for 1? Yes. Then break. Case 2. Display odd. Case 3. Display numbers divisible by 5. So 4, display about, break. So until the time that we choose 5. So when we choose 5, our program will exit. Or let's have that also. Display exit message. So once we go out of this loop, we display our exit message. Okay? So basically we have here now a bird's eye view of our program. We display the menu, and then basing from the user option, it will our program will process. So let's say for example, if you press 1, we will display even. If you press 2, display add. Press 3, display divisible by 5, display about. Wrong spelling. Display about. And then once you exit, that means you press 5, then display the exit message. So what we're going to do now is we define, or we write the code for these functions now, or this yes, functions. So I just copied and paste. Okay, so first we display the menu. Let's say we clear the screen. So let's say this is our menu or title. So one. So all we have to do here is display the options. Return get ch. So I don't need to change that to uppercase because my options are in form of number. So don't have to change that to uppercase. So let's now proceed with even numbers. So I have here maybe the sum, because in our requirement we need to get the sum and average of the even numbers. So integer sum, integer average, then integer I, our loop control variable. Now actually there's no need for us to get the remainder, but just for the purpose of demonstration, let's get the remainder first before we determine if it is odd or even, because basically if we just start from 2 and then add 2 always, then these are already even numbers. So we assume that we'll be testing the values. So this will be for our remainder. So integer our upper limit. So we're going to enter the upper limit. So first, maybe we clear the screen. And then next, prompt user to enter upper limit. So printf. Then let the user enter. So scanf %d. So ampersand ul. So that's it. Then we now loop from 2 up to the upper limit. So for I equals 2, I should be lesser or equal to the upper limit. So as I've said, we'll try to use the remainder, but if we always add 2, that's already the even number. So let's add 1 only. So what we're going to do is to get the remainder. So R is equal to I divided by 2, getting the remainder. So if the remainder equals 0, then that means it is an even number. So we can get the sum. Oh, we need the counter. So we also need counter. Because you cannot get the average without getting the count. Then we display the number. It's number I. Then, what's next? That's it. That will be our loop. So we get the remainder, we determine if the remainder is 0, we get a sum, count, then display the number. So once we exit, we have here display the sum. So printf. So I'm going to place here the sum. Now for the average, be sure that we have a value for counter. If counter is not equal to 0, then we display the average. Or we could first compute average is equal to sum divided by counter. So I'm testing if counter is 0, because if we divide a number by 0, that will cause an error. So sum divided by counter, then that's the only time we print the average. Or did I use 6D? I use 6D. Hopefully that will be enough. So I have here now what? Average backslash n. Oh, I should place here also backslash n. And I'm going to place here another backslash n just for spacing. So I'm going to display the sum here. I'm going to display the average. Then pause the program. Oh, wait. So I'm going to add a new function, pause. So let's add it here. I'm going to add that here also. So press any key to continue, or press any key. Get CH. So just place pause here. So that's how we display the even numbers. Actually, for odd numbers, it will be very similar. So what we'll be doing is we just copy and then we paste. But since we're going to use, this is for odd numbers, so we start with 1 up to the upper limit. So this should not be equal to 0, but not equal to 0. So it becomes odd number. So sum and average. For divisible by 5, the same, we paste. We start with 5 and we test. We divide by 5, if the remainder is 0, then that means this is divisible by 5. So here we determine if this odd. So it is now divisible by 5. Then we can get a sum and average. So about, we just display information. So clear the screen. Hopefully that will be etc. I will not be completing this anymore since these are all print if for the interest of time. I'll just pause here, exit message. Yes, let's say that we want to clear the screen. So we just display our message. Then we already have here our box. So what else? Did we miss something? Let's place titles here. So before we loop, we again clear the screen. And then some sort of title. So we copy that for the odd numbers. So just place here odd numbers. Then we again copy that and place here. So numbers divisible by 5. So hopefully we did not miss something. So let's try our program now. So execute, compile and run. So I'll first save. Oh yes, I was unable to remove the semicolon. Compile and run. So here I have now my menu. So I press 1, enter upper limit, let's say even numbers up to 40. So this will display from 2 up to 40, the sum is 420, the average is 21. Then press any key to continue. So if I press 2, I'm going to use the upper limit up to 55, for example. So it will display from 1 to 55. The sum is 784 and the average is 28. If I press 3 up to 105, for example, so that's 5 up to 105. The sum is 1155. The average is 55. If I press 4, it will display the about information here. So I did not complete the information anymore. And then if I press 5, thank you for using this program. So it will display the our exit message. So let's try to run the program again. So 1, what if I read 1, enter. So even numbers, sum equals 0 because there are no even numbers. So that's it. We just press 5 to quit. And let's just review our program. So in our program, for even numbers, so what we did here is we have the variable for sum, the counter, because we need the average. So we have here the average, and we have our loop control variable, our remainder. As I've said, this one is in reality we don't need this one. If we just add 2 here always, so we just instead of adding 1 we just add 2. But for the sake of demonstration, we'll be getting the remainder and we enter the upper limit. So what this program did is we ask the user to enter the upper limit. We print our heading and then loop from 2 up to the upper limit. If it is add, it is from 1 to the upper limit. If it is divisible by 5, from 5 to the upper limit. So we always add 1, get the remainder if we divide this by 2 since we are getting even numbers. So if the remainder is 0, that means it is even. We get the sum of the number, we count, and then we display the number. So at the end of the loop, we print the sum and we tested if the counter is not equal to 0, then that means it was able to enter this loop and we can compute for the average. So the average is sum divided by the counter and then display the average here, then post the program. So for add and divisible by 5, similar, except that of course we place here not equal to 0 for add number, and if it is divisible by 5, we just change the starting value to 5, this by 5, and of course if it is 0, that means it is divisible by 5. So this is now the solution of your prelim exams. Thank you for viewing this video.